Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's a cold morning. Be glad when the warm weather comes back, I'll tell you that much. But anyway, we have two Irish blended whiskeys. The first one, you might recognize that, is Bushmills. Original, the Bushmills. It was introduced in 1786. Now, I know it says 1608. That's when they found records of a license being given for distilling in that area. But the brand, Bushmills brand, really is 1786. Okay, but these companies like to play games, with the numbers. Triple distilled, finest blended. The old Bushmills Distillery in County Antrim. Ireland is like Mississippi or South Carolina. It's divided into counties. Okay. Louisiana is divided into parishes, which is analogous to a county. But so if Ireland's about the size of Louisiana, and it's divided into counties. Now, this is from Northern Ireland, which is the British controlled part of Ireland. Okay, that's still part of the British Empire, Commonwealth. That they call it the Commonwealth now. It sounds a little. They started using that word Commonwealth around the time of World War I. Sounded a little nicer. Okay, but anyway, but they kept using Empire up until really the 60s. They phased that name out. But it doesn't really matter to me. This is bottled. No, this is imported by Proximo Spirits, Jersey City, New Jersey, and it's aged for a minimum of 3 years. And in fact, it's 5 years, because if you look at the website, it says it's aged 5 years in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks, a common way to age whiskey in Ireland, bourbon and sherry casks. So it's got this nice embossed bottle, glass clear, better have it brown, but it's clear. And like about $23 a bottle. About $23 a bottle. Yeah, I got about half left. Here's the competitor. Two Gingers, introduced in 2011, double distilled, so they were thinking of a double theme, So the guy came up with two Gingers, his mother and aunt, who had red hair or have red hair, or maybe they're gray hair now. But there's the flag of Ireland, the Republic. So this is produced in the Irish Republic. The part of Ireland which has its own president, you understand? Okay, the independent part. It's been a republic since 1949, when they cut all remaining ties with the British monarchy. All right, so this is produced by Kilbeggan Distillery. It's got the exact same cap design as the Duhans. So I started thinking, oh, Duhans must be from Kilbeggan also. They just don't acknowledge it. Or they might have in the past, but I don't think they make Duhans anymore. But anyway, two Gingers. It's not really too common in Louisiana. I mean, Bushmills, yeah, every liquor store sells Bushmills, basically. Kilbeggan, two Gingers. You'll see it. Total Wine had it. I think International Market has it. It's here. It's hit or miss. I've never seen it in this town where I live, but it's a small town. Not like New Orleans or Metairie. It's a brown. I thought it was black, but it's brown, dark brown. Okay. Double distilled, age 4 years. Price $15.99. So $16 versus $23. So it's a $7 difference. Is it going to be $7 better? I don't know. I don't even know if I can tell it apart. We're about to find out. BC's Beer Reviews. BC's Beer Reviews. He says, good morning, Ryan. Good morning to you, BC. And I'll tell y'all something. Regardless of if it's a bottle or a can, he's going to review the beer. And he's reviewed a lot lately that I've never had. So I can't comment on them because I never had them. I can make a comment like, well, that looks nice. I never had the product. He did a really fancy whiskey, though. I know I never had that one because I'm not that fancy. Wish I was. I wish I was. This is very pale, like straw. I don't think they're adding coloring to it because it doesn't have much color. So we got, they're all from the same country, but it's two parts of the same country. You know what I'm saying? The British controlled Northern Ireland and the independent Irish Republic. It's kind of like Korea. It's just a country. It's one country, Korea, but it's under two control groups. You know what I'm saying? Under two different governments. Like China, got the Republic of China on Taiwan Island, and also the Pescadores, Kinmen and Matsu Island. A little bit more gold, but not much. So I don't know if either one of them is colored. And then the rest of China, Hainan Island and the mainland, under control of the communist people's, so-called People's Republic. Yeah, but who are the people? A gang called the Communist Party running that part of it. It's one country, China. Taiwan is part of China. Somebody told me one time, I've never been to China, but I've been to Taiwan. I said, well, you've been to China. You've been to a Chinese island, Taiwan. That's what it is. Just look at their website, Taiwan, Republic of China. It's funny. Vietnam used to be like that, cut in half. Two different governments, same country, Vietnam. Nam means country. Viet means the people, the ethnic group. Vietnam means Viet country. And in their language, they say America Nam. America Nam, meaning America country. Okay. Now, in the case of St. Martin Island, that would not be one country under two governments. It's one island, St. Martin. But it was never like a country, you know, like an ethnic group, the San Martinese. It was a few American Indians there, and then it was all these people that came from other parts of rural Africa and Europe. So that would not be the case, that it was one country that got cut into two parts. It was just an island that France and the Netherlands both wanted, but they said, well, we're not going to fight over it. Let's not fight over it. Let's just cut it in half. They just drew a line across the island and said, well, you take one side and we'll take the other. Okay, that's what they did. That's really what happened. Okay. Cyprus is sort of like that. The island of Cyprus. It's not really an ethnic group, Cypriotic. It's a nationality based, it's a country based on the island's location, but it's really two different countries on one island. The Greek nation and the Turkish nation. And they've been fighting over it, and the Turks control the northern part of the island, and the Greeks control the southern part. And they both claim, you know, they have two separate governments with a president of Cyprus and a president of Northern Cyprus, but it's not an ethnic group really in the sense that you're thinking of it. Okay, but these are both Irish whiskeys in the definite sense of it. Smells like honey top bread crust. Now I have to look with my nose. Yeah, I finally broke out that one to review finally. Yeah. You made a good choice, I think. So I noticed that the two gingers has just a wisp. It's so faint, but it's there in just a fleeting moment, a wisp of smoke. Not smoke. Sorry about that. Retraction. Disregard that. Peat. Like the peatiness. It's a very strange thing, but that was, now when I went up against Drumcastle, couldn't get it right because Drumcastle had the same thing, that little peaty note. So it got me very screwed up. And then I got another one wrong. So I got wrong twice now. So I'm hoping on the Bushmills I'll get all three correct, and then I'll have a good record. Like it would be like 10 correct, 2 wrong, or 9 correct, 1 or 2 wrong, something like that. I'd have to look, but a good average. It's hard to get them all correct because I mean, if it's something like Hornito's Black Barrel, yeah, I'm not going to get that mixed up with the others because they don't have the charred barrel. So if you get that wrong, so you might want to question your ability to taste things because it's too individualized. It's like the Cruzan Black Strap Molasses Estate Diamond Barrel. Well, it's very dark, tastes like pancake syrup, and none of the other rums I have taste anything like that. So there's no way you can mix them up. But with these Irish whiskeys, whoa, it's a challenge. And that's why we call it Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. All right, taste. Yeah, honey top bread crust and the bread dough, baked bread, not raw. Yeah, tastes fine. Tastes like Bushmills. I saw some people ragging on Bushmills Original. Oh, it's no good. It's a mixer. Don't drink it. No, it is mostly a mixer now. You want to get more elaborate flavor, you get the Black Bush or the red, the bourbon barrel cask one. But to say it's just no good or it tastes nasty, I don't get that. It tastes good to me, but maybe I don't have a whiskey savoir faire. I don't have whiskey ability. You say, no, you got a whiskey disability. Oh, that was wrong. Why you wanted to say that? That was a cheap shot. And hopefully that's wrong. Okay, but anyway, we call it a hobby easy. All right. Oh, seems like there was just a little scintilla of the peat. If you said this was a peaty whiskey, I wouldn't agree. I say no, 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 no. But yet there is a little wisp of it, but it's really wouldn't call it peaty. All right, it's a little strange. Now we're going to make an assessment here. DJ Beacon says, morning, for a few more bucks, really like the Black Bush. Yeah, I paid $30. But it's great. It's aged 8 years in ex-Oloroso sherry cask. It's unique. It's been around 43 years. It was introduced in 1980. And a friend of mine, well, my daughter's friend, boyfriend, really, you want to be techno. I hate when people say that. This is my friend. I'm like, I can see that's a friend, all right. But they trying to be politically correct or something. I don't know what they're trying to be. They're being too obvious, what I call it. But anyway, he was over here and he tried it. He was just flabbergasted. He loved it. He was like, I think he gave it 100. This is 100 out of 100. He said, I would definitely buy this. And he was just raving. He's very particular, believe me. Works at a fancy seafood restaurant. He only eats handmade food. Like they won't eat processed food. Does that really matter? I doubt it. Oh, wait, I forgot to turn the light on. Oh, me, oh my. I didn't want to have the light on because it makes glare, you see. It makes glare when I'm showing the bottles, But I don't want to be in the dark. People used to always say, why are you in the dark? Why are you in the dark? I said, I was waiting for the sunlight to come up. But it's too deep in the wintertime right now. By the time I get off, the sun is still not up. So I'm still going to be in the dark. Like Blue Oyster Cult said, in the dark, I found you. Yeah, you went blind with that brightness, huh? That was my fault. I forgot to turn the light on. This one is a little rougher. What you want to say? It has a little rougher cut. It has that little peatiness. It has the honey top bread crust, not dough, not the dough, but it's just a little more. Oh, you could say bold. And I think it must be the two gingers because the guy said, this guy Kieran F, his last name F something. He said, well, I double distilled instead of triple distilling it. I didn't want it to come out too smooth and lose all its flavor. He wanted it to be a little bold so it would show through in the cocktails. And I think that's what he achieved. Now, some people might taste it and say, "Oh, it's harsh." That's why it's $15.99. Well, I'm sure it's cheaper for a reason. It ain't cheap because it's better. It's cheap because it's cheap. Okay, but the guy ran bar rooms in Minneapolis, and they people go in there all day and drink cheap stuff and probably enjoy it, and they do a lot of cocktails and all of that. So that's not really that big of a deal. But this one's smoother. It's nicer. It's so soft. The honey top white bread crust, the bread dough, or just bread dough in the middle. I had a piece of bread this morning with 6 fish sticks on top. I baked them in the oven. You see, had tartar sauce. It was good. Naturally, of course, I put some black pepper on the top of the fish sticks. This has got to be the Bushmills. Is it a better product? It really is. It really is. Is it worth the $7? I would say yes. I bought it. I would buy it again, theoretically at least. Probably not really ever in reality, but smoother, nicer, stronger, faster. Dun, 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 dun. All right, anyway. Will be this man. Bushmills. I got it. I got it. And I felt like I would get it. I did feel that way because I just knew that Bushmills was a better quality product. Now, some people get all political and take these positions. I don't drink that stuff from Northern Ireland, or they're up there. They don't drink the stuff. That's Catholic whiskey. I'm not into all of that. That's not. I don't live in Ireland. I've never been to Ireland. I got no horse in the race over there. It's really. I've had people tell me, "What do you think?" I said, "I don't care." I'm sorry that you got the problem in that, but I'm certainly not going to let it affect my whiskey and tastings. It's just history and all of that. But so I'm not taking sides in that sense. I am taking sides in the sense I think the Bushmills is better. If you said, "Oh, well, all the Irish whiskeys you could try, what's your favorite?" I would probably say Bushmills so far. Now I don't know what's coming in the future. I would say I'd rather Bushmills, original black and the red. And I bet those specialty ones like 21-year age, that's a fantastic one. But to me, they're just better. I'm sorry. People say, "Yeah, but your background is Scotch Irish." Yeah, but that's not really part of it. And I had an English background, people from England, the Harrisons, and but a lot of German too. So mostly German, I think. And I'm not gonna sit there and pick a German beer because of some. Uh, I was on some website where they tell you, yeah, ancestry.com. Think I would pay 10 cents for that? I would not. I'm not really into a family tree and all that. I mean, I know it's from a certain area and there's a history, but that's then. It doesn't. I don't know how that impacts now. I just don't. You say, well, people forget about others after they're gone and their ancestors don't remember them so much. Yes, that's probably true. And that's probably going to happen to you. You'll just be some photo on the wall. Oh, that's Uncle Douglas. Did you know him? Nobody heard about him. Bushmills Irish coffee. Yes. That sounds like something I would be curious to try. Okay, so anyway, that's it. The winner, Bushmills, and wasn't really too close. Wasn't really too close. But 2 gingers worth buying. I mean, $15.99, buy it. If it's $20.99, I wouldn't buy it. Where did all the animosity come from between the British and the Irish? Because the British tried to take them over. Well, they did take them over for like 700 years. Yeah, they had ruled them, and but really it didn't go back to that so much. There was this religious conflict that broke out with King Henry VIII with his kind of lunacy, I call it, and he started Protestantism in England, and then when the crazy Cromwell took over, he wanted to start discriminating against Catholics, and Ireland was like 90% Catholic, and they said, we're not going to change because of you, because you're a dictatorial maniac. And he wanted to go around abusing the Irish, really treating them bad, you know, and sort of like an ethnic cleansing type thing. He didn't last too long though, and then even after him, the British were very strict after 1689, because you did have some Catholic kings that were trying to bring back the Catholic ascendancy, and so they just put the hammer down on them, and all the people that controlled Ireland were Protestants, and the people that were doing all the work were the Catholics, and they kept them under their thumb. And then later on, with liberal groups in England were saying that's not right, you know, we shouldn't be doing that. And so they were moving away from that, and they wanted to give Ireland home rule. Say, well, let's let Ireland go free and be a self-governing part of the empire. They don't need us telling them what to do every day. And so they did it. But the problem they had then was that the Northern Ireland being very close to Scotland, they were all Protestant, well, mostly Protestant, and they were saying, no, because you're the ones that lured us to come over here so that you could have a foothold in Ireland, and you could have a loyal group of people that would help keep the island under your thumb. And now you don't want it anymore, so you're going to betray us. So then they were getting weapons together. I'm talking about 1914, and saying, if you give this country over to these Catholics, we're going to fight, and there'll be a civil war. And they were saying home rule means Rome rule. You know, they were all like panicked that they're going to be ruled by a bunch of Catholics. They'll tell us what to do. We won't be able to eat meat on Friday. You know, stuff like panic stuff, most of it which wasn't really true. And so now they've been stuck with this problem ever since. You know, they got a territory they don't even want. You know, really, if you asked the English people honestly, do you really want Northern? No, but we can't give it away because they'll go crazy and say we betrayed them. And I guess a lot of loyalists in England say that's not right. You know, you got to keep your nation together and you don't betray people. And that's true. You shouldn't do that. So it goes back to that, you know, it's complicated. I could make a video about it. Maybe I will. Maybe I better not. But I could, you know. Henry was off his rocker. Oh, he was a nut. Oh, well, it could have been ill like that. Getting in on the tail end. Good morning, Ron. Checking in. Hey, Jeep and Foodie Caleb. So anyway, all that history aside, it's hard to avoid it though. But the winner is Bushmills, and that was totally expected. So y'all have a nice day. Talk to you later.